y'all, it's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, which means it's time for a live video tutorial. Let me just be sure that I'm transmitillating. It looks like I am. I mean, I see a picture of my card, so I'm going to assume that something is happening out there. And I see some folks joining. Yay! Thank you all for coming. I hope your weekend is going very well. Okay, so I have a fun new bundle for you. This is a bundle that comes with 3 things in it when you purchase it. First off, it's the Art in Bloom bundle. You get the Art in Bloom stamp set, which is a photopolymer, and it's awesome because it's multi-step, which means being photopolymer makes it a lot easier to line up. And then it comes with the Bloom dies. Okay, pretty normal so far. The third element is the amazing and wonderful Bloom hybrid embossing folder. Okay, so you get all 3 of these items right here when you purchase the bundle, and wait until you see what you can do with it. This embossing folder lets you emboss straight up, and I will show you what that does. And then you can use the same folder to emboss and die cut these 3 big flowers all at the same time. And this is the card that I made and gave you the sneak peek of this morning. So I hope you're going to like it. We used a little bit of hand pen DSP. So I'm going to show you how to work the folder, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I'll put this aside, see if I can keep my mess down to a low roar, which is really not my strong suit. If you know me at all, you know that I am a very messy. Hey Pam, appreciate you joining. Not sure why I'm not seeing comments over on my screen. I'm going to do a quick refresh on the screen because that's no good to not be able to see what's going on comment-wise. So just so you know, for some reason, all of a sudden things aren't showing up, so I'm having to look on my phone, which is out of my view. So if you make a comment and I don't answer, just know it's because for some reason I'm not seeing comments on my screen, and I truly don't know why. Let me do one thing. I'll try refreshing over here and see if that helps any. All right. Aha, there we go. Yay! I just had to, hold my mouth just right. Hi guys, appreciate y'all joining. Tanya and Faith and Janie and Serene and Amy and Holly and all those folks. Appreciate you coming. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've done a little bit of pre-cutting, not a lot because I want you to see how things work, but some of the basic things like that I know for certain you know how to do, I got you. I already got you right here. And all of this will be on my blog post tomorrow, so you don't even need to worry. You can just watch and enjoy it. Okay, what I have done, I have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 cardstock in garden green. I have scored it and folded it at 5 1/2. So I'm going to take a piece of hand pen DSP that's the same size as the card front, and I will go ahead and just adhere that with a little bit of liquid glue. Now, paper changes is a little bit different sized sometimes once you get it scored and folded. So cut your piece of DSP where you think it needs to be, and then double check it. And if you need to trim it, do a little trimming, okay? Make the paper work for you. So you can see I need to do a little trimming along the bottom. So let me pull my paper trimmer out, and I will do that. And the easiest way to do this is to put your score line at the 5 1/2 mark, right? And then you should be lined up, and you can just give that a little shave and tidy it right up. Okay? All right, so that is that. Now, before you came, I did take a piece of basic white cardstock, and I just ran it through the cutter, the die cutting machine, inside the Bloom hybrid embossing folder, okay? Now, here's the thing about this embossing folder. If you just use the folder and your piece of cardstock plus your sandwich, you're just going to emboss. But I will tell you what, this is some of the most gorgeous embossing I have seen. If you look at how deep that is and how detailed all of those variegations on the petals are. I mean, it's truly stunning. All right, so I did that, and then I cut it down to size. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to a Daffodil Delight mat, and then we'll just pop it onto our card front. hopefully I have all of these pieces of cardstock cut to the right dimensions and won't have to stop in the middle, because I know that can be so distracting when I have to do that, and I apologize. Straight up. I just apologize straight up. So let me put some dimensionalities on here, and we'll be good to go. I want to remind you guys, so today is the 12th, which means Monday is the last day to get in on the awesome Connect, Craft, and Collect ordering special, where if your workshop, your individual workshop, or if you, well, in this case, for the most part, you're going to be doing an individual order, but you could also give me a holler and I'll give you a host code, and you and a couple friends can go in on the host code. And when your workshop or personal order hits $250, you get an additional $25 in Stampin' Dimensionals. That's $50 in case your math is failing you, just saying. So you might want to take a look-see at that, okay? Now, and by take a look-see at that, I mean don't miss out. Order before close of day on Monday. And I wouldn't wait until like midnight either, just, you know, saying, because it's a computer system and you never know. Okay, so I've popped that on like so, and then I will set that aside. Now, a little bit ahead of time, what I did is I stamped the 3 flower image from Art in Bloom. Now, this is a single stamp, so you stamp all 3 at once, right? But when you cut it with the corresponding die in the Bloom dies, it cuts into 3 separate flowers, okay? But wait, there's more. I'm going to go ahead and stamp these, and then I'm going to show you the magic of the embossing folder. Okay? Okay. Hey, Vicky. Hi, Sylvia. Appreciate you joining. Wait, what? What, Tanya? What? All right. So I have the there are 3 fill images in the Art in Bloom stamp set. 1, 2, 3. Did you see how I did that? I know all of my numbers. And I'm going to use my Mango Melody and line this up and stamp my, well, I know I'm going to, any second now I'm going to stamp my fill into my flowers. Okay, this is kind of an artsy set, which means it's not going to be perfect, okay? If that bothers you, then just grit your teeth and do it, because you'll be happy. You're going to be happy in the end, I promise. But it isn't going to be perfect. This isn't going to look like you colored it with Stampin' Blends, okay? Be prepared. And then we'll do the smaller one, like so. And so there you go. Okay, are you ready for the magic? Let's let the magic happen. Okay, so I have my big die, and I'm going to open this up, and on the raised portion, which is on the embossing side, I'm going to, you have to get it kind of wound up, lined up and wound up. Actually, I guess it's on this side. I can't feel it. There it is. Okay. All you got to do is you kind of click the die into place. Okay, now it's not there forever, right? But it is in place, and you can kind of hear it click. And then when it is where it belongs, it won't move sideways or up and down like that. You see what I was doing there? Yeah. Okay. So then you're just going to close the folder, hold the die in place because you saw what it did. And then we're going to slide our piece in like so. And then kind of just move it around inside the folder to line those stamped images up with the embossing folder. Okay. Now, if I didn't mention it, that was Tuxedo Black was the first stamp. Okay. Now, when you do this, even though you're cutting, you're really mostly embossing. So you're going to use your embossing, your 3D embossing sandwich. That is the #1 plate, okay, which is just the basic platform. Then you're going to place your hybrid embossing folder with everything in place and use the #4 specialty plate. Okay, hang tight, and I'm going to run this through my cutter. I'll be right back. Okay. And now let's see the magic, what happens with the magic that has happened. What I have here is 3 beautifully cut flowers, already colored because I stamped them, and already embossed. I'll show you the back. You can see the embossing, and that translates to the front. So bing, bada boom, you get beautiful flowers without even hardly trying. Pretty cool, right? I think it's very cool. I hope we see more embossing, die cutting combinations like this. I really do. Alrighty, now before you came, I did a little bit more cutting. There are a couple of other leaf dies. This one is just a basic detailed leaf, and you get 2 at once. So I did 2 of those in garden green cardstock, and I did 2 of those from the same DSP that I used on the card front. Okay, so I just cut them out of this DSP. So I have 4 leaves there. And then I stamped this image twice in mint macaron and cut both of them out with the matching die in the Blooms dies. Okay, so I essentially have 6 leaves. Not even essentially, totally I have 6 leaves, straight up, 6 leaves. And I've also got a sentiment ready to go, so we'll be cooking with gas. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to pop each of these flowers over their corresponding flower on the card front, like this. And I'm going to use dimensionals. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, okay? So what I want you to do when you make this is I want you to put a couple of dimensionals, or one if you haven't broken them in half, cut them in half, and I want you to put them right in the middle of the flower. That way you aren't going to be fighting your dimensionals when you tuck your leaves in, okay? If you stick the dimensionals way out here, you have to think about where they're going and where your leaves are going to be. So just do like I say. And if I screw up, don't do like I do. All right? So we'll pull these off. Oops, she says. We'll pull these off. You ever noticed how Stampin' Dimensionals are very opinionated? I don't know why that is. And then we'll just pop it over like so. So I was doing a little research online today, and it turns out that the world is divided about the clipping and shaving of Australian Shepherds. So I have to do a little more research, but we may end up going down that road. Probably like a long clip. There's a thing they call a puppy clip, and I'm not really sure exactly what that is, but it sounds cute. And if it would cut out some of the mats that I am really struggling with, then that would be so cool. Okay, so now I am going to just put a couple of leaves on for each of the flowers. Now on these, you might be a little confused about which way is up. I just figured that those little vein things went up like that, so I called that up. You can call whatever is up, whatever makes you happy will be just fine, I am certain. And the same is true with the detailed ones. Now I'm just laying this out now so that I can kind of make sure I have things where I want them, and that I haven't inadvertently put my dimensionals somewhere that aren't going to cooperate with me. And it's okay if they overlap the flowers. In fact, I would like it better like that. I should turn that one the other way. I like it better when it's kind of collagified, if you will. Okay, so there's that. I like how that looks. All you got to do now is just pull them out, and you can actually pull them out 2 at a time if you have your tweezers, which I know you do, and if you don't, get them right away. Just get them. Get a pair of reverse tweezers. You will never regret having a third hand. I promise. Okay, and we'll just tuck those back in and give that a little push right there underneath. Okay, and we can do the same here. You don't have to do them 2 at a time if you don't want. I'll show you how that looks. Just a little bit of glue at the bottom, and then tuck it under however far you want, like so. Alrighty. And then the final pair, here we go. See if I can do two at once, just to shorten things up a little bit for you. One of these days I'll probably get all technical and stuff, and then, you know, like edit my videos and make it go really fast and things, and people be like, yay, finally, it's only 15 minutes, for goodness sake. Okay. Now, while that sets, I'm going to get some of the white baker's twine out of my, this is the Baker's Twine Essentials pack, and remember you get a crumb cake, a very vanilla, a Sahara sand, a basic black, and a basic white roll, which is a good bargain, very good value. So I'm just going to take a couple of pieces like this, and I'm going to tie a simple bow out of 2 lengths of the twine. And if you're really good at making bows, you don't have to use quite the excess amount of twine that I'm using, but especially when I'm doing it in public, I like to use a little extra because it gives me some probability of getting the bow done. She says, you see, I should never claim that I'm going to be successful until I actually am. So we're going to try that one more time, and I'm not going to talk and pat myself on the back before I ever get the bow made. There we go. Whew. Woo, that was close. Almost didn't get that done because, you know, bows, me and bows have some issues sometimes. I know, I make it just look so easy, but usually I'm biting it, I'm gritting my teeth and holding my tongue just right. Now, what I'm going to do, because I've popped these up, there's a little channel right here. So I'm going to save myself a little depth by sticking a glue dot right inside that little channel and then using that to adhere my bow. And that will take up a little bit of the extra bulk that you get from the knot of the bow knot, as it were. All right, so I'm just going to stick that in like so, and it's just tucked down in there, and it can come out, and we'll trim that down as we get closer. Now, this is the sentiment from the from the Art and Bloom set, and I just stamped it on basic white in garden green, and I cut it with a die in the ever so handy Tasteful Labels die set. It's this banner die. And what's cool about this is there's not a straight, a plain edge to any of them. They all have either a grooved edge or a stitched edge, and that really makes it nice to add just a little bit of interest. So it's really kind of a go-to set for me. I like it, and I hope you guys have it as well. And then I am going to add a dimensional or two, just kind of to the middle here. And we'll pop that on and add a few genial gems, which right at that instant in time I realized are sitting behind me in their folder. So I'll have to get those in just a second. Alrighty. Righto. Jolly good. And then we'll use the Mark 1 eyeball to get it lined up as close as we can. And there we go. Trim this down a little bit. And there's your card front. Boom. Boom chakalaka. Now let me find my genial gems. And I am going to put a few of these little mint macaron doodads around here and there. Not everywhere, just here and there. Just a few, like 3. Like 3. I thought I might do 3. There we go. And that's the front of your card. So let's go ahead and do an inside, and we'll be ready to roll. Now, there is an image in this set, and I kind of call it, it's the barcode image, because it kind of looks like a barcode, right? And I am going to stamp that across the bottom of a basic white panel in Mint Macaron. Mint Macaron. Here we go. And we're just going to line that bottom up and kind of center it on there and give it a press. Okay. And then in Mango Melody, I'm going to use the little 3 image, the 3 flower image, and I'm going to stamp it here. And I'm going to stamp it up here in this corner. Because why not? Because that's kind of fun, don't you think? And then we will mat this on Garden Green. I'm sorry. We will mat this on Daffodil Delight, which is totally different from Garden Green. I mean, like, it's not even in the same, on the same planet as Garden Green. Well, I mean, I suppose it is. Daffodils and gardens. Okay, it's totally in the same area. And then we will put this on the inside of our card, and it will be Dunske. It'll be all Dunske. Now, what I like about leaving this blank is it gives you an option in the future. Maybe you need a birthday card, so you add an inside birthday sentiment. Maybe you need a get well card, add an inside sentiment that says get well. Whatever you need, Dear Friend is very, very open-ended. So this makes a nice card to just have sitting around whenever you need something. Okay? Now, for my envelope, I'm going to use my barcode again. I wonder if the post office will try to scan this. I'm kidding. No, of course they won't. And I'm just going to kind of center it up and try to make it straight by getting the bottom straight with the bottom of the envelope. And then we'll add those little flowers again on the corners. Like that. Okay. Bing, bada bang, bada boom, chakalaka. And a little more of the Gorgeous hand pen DSP on the envelope flap. I think this could be one of my very favorite DSPs of all time. This hand pen set is just wonderful. There is not a, I kind of don't like that design in the pack, I don't think. Not for me, there isn't. And it seems like to me, every time there's a DSP, like everything, not all of them appeal to me, but in this case, pretty much every single design appeals to me. All right. And now I will just give that a quick fussy cut, and we'll be ready to rock. And roll. Rock and roll. There you go. Perfect. Art in Bloom. Three elements that are perfect together with an embossing folder that you can either emboss with or emboss and cut at the same time, and the perfect die set that goes with it. So I think this one's a keeper, you guys. This is my first time using it, and I absolutely love it. So I hope you will add it to your stash. And don't forget the ordering special goes off Monday evening, okay? I've also got some openings in online host clubs, so if you're interested in that, give me a shout or holler or an email or a private message or you know, whatever. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I appreciate you spending part of it with me, and I'll see you next week, hopefully on Thursday. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.